Much like its predecessors, the seventh report of the United Nations Commission of Inquiry on Syria makes for grim reading. Covering the period mid-July last year to mid-January 2014, it details the plight of more than 250,000 Syrians living under siege in various parts of the country, subjected to relentless bombardment, denied basic humanitarian necessities. They must choose, the report says, between surrender and starvation. A distinction is drawn between government and pro-government forces on one side and so-called non-state armed groups on the other, and the report is critical of both. It details alleged crimes against humanity and war crimes by both sides, including murder, rape, torture, the use of children in hostilities and the targeting of medical personnel and journalists. The report notes that the warring parties do not fear being held accountable for their actions. It blames the Security Council for allowing the parties to act with impunity, and it recommends that all states with influence over the parties act to ensure that they comply with the rules of international law. I asked the chairman of the Commission what he thought the Security Council could or should be doing about it.
The only key to the International Criminal Court, that is one of the most probable ways to deal with accountability for the perpetrators of those heinous crimes in Syria, is the Security Council. And until now, despite our recommendations and the recommendations of the High Commission for Human Rights, the Security Council was not able to refer the case of Syria to the International Criminal Court.
UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon said this week that there needs to be a much stronger political will by world leaders to move the Syrian peace process forward. He was referring, among others, to the United States and Russia, of course. But events in Ukraine now mean that the political will of those two countries to work together on Syria may be much diminished. Jonah, Al Jazeera, Geneva.